Hey everyone, today we're going to sit back, relax and play some good old Terraria. I will play it on a fresh character in a new world. My goal for this session is simply to get started, explore a little, get some gear and basically prepare myself for the first boss encounter. So, like always, we'll be starting with chopping some trees. The good old. Let's get a little bit going here. But hopefully I don't get bullied by everything on my adventures, which I probably will be, let's be honest. So let's get that going. Let's get a actual sword because, you know, starter one kind of isn't too great. Cool. Okay, so we are Gucci, I think. Yep. Cool. So usually by this point when starting off, I make myself a small house for the guide and start digging down. But this time around, I'm going to explore the surface as much as I can before night comes. If we're lucky, we'll come across some chests to make things progress a little faster. With the wood I've collected, I'm going to turn it into platforms, just to make exploring a bit easier for myself. It barely took any time before coming across my first chest, and although any loot is good loot, I feel like the game knows my height struggles. And just to rub salt in the wound, my second chest gave me an umbrella, so at least I can get down from my steps all safely, I guess. Jokes aside, the umbrella is great early game, and saved me from at least a few embarrassing deaths. Yeah, I tell myself that, but let's be honest, I'm gonna die in very dumb ways. Ignoring that hard-hitting truth, I continued on exploring the right side of the map, picking up any chest I came by. It wasn't long until I hit the edge of the map and bumped into everyone's best buddy. Seriously, who invited this dude? Thankfully, I'm basically a pro at avoiding social interaction, so I did what any person would in my situation and sunk myself into the sea. Yeah, now that it's getting night time, we're hunker down, get a quick house built. I would like to explore the other way. I mean, that's where the dungeon is, which is great. Yeah, we'll get a quick house set up for the guy to keep him safe. Get a little storage area sort out, although I don't have to go too crazy with that. And then we can start digging down. So even though I'd literally planned my next move, I decided to do none of that. And instead explored a nearby cave for some extra loot. And yeah, I was carrying all my previous loot with me. Oh, I should go back. Are we going to? No, because I'm dumb. And you're probably thinking, wow, you're so hard on yourself. Well, here's why I know I'm dumb. This is why I should have stayed at home. Should have made a house. After that, I took the L, grabbed my dropped money and made a quick house. Morning had already started, so I dumped my crap and got a move on to explore the other side of the map. Like before, I grabbed all nearby chests in hope of some good loot, but unfortunately the corruption gave me the spook, so I shamefully returned back home. Okay, well, you know what they do, when in doubt, we start going down. At this point, I knew I had to gear up a bit to make my life a little easier. My experience cave-in generally goes two ways. I either spend countless hours running around gathering too much stuff, or I never quite get enough and have to return down several times. One of my biggest finds throughout exploring the underground was an Eye of Cthulhu summon. Okay, so we're good on tungsten. I don't think I want flat armor. I made a chest already, so let's just get that. Let's get some greaves. Yeah. The blood moon decided to pop up as soon as night hit, and when returning to the game after a quick break, we got ourselves a nice piggy bank. Oh, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'll be sitting here until morning pretty much, just farm these guys up. Before going back to exploring in hopes of finding better accessories, I built myself a quick arena. Admittedly, I still don't know a good size for these things, but I figured something's better than nothing. And don't worry, I did go back later on to add a house for the nurse. Once that was all over and done with, I ended up exploring some sky islands. And although the first island was a debate, the rest of them were pretty great. Normally I do use gravity potions for this kind of thing, but I ended up just climbing up from the floor, since puddles on the surface can give me a rough idea where to find them. Unfortunately, we bumped into our good old buddy again, and as tempting as it was to ignore him, I figured I'd grab him since I'd need a few NPCs to help start with natural event. All that was left to do at this point really was to increase my hearts and hope to get some more accessories. I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go, so I took a teleportation potion, and fate decided to put me in place I hate most, the desert. In my usual playthroughs, this is the biome I always avoid, but the Star Fury made exploring a piece of cake and we came out with a lot of good stuff. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna call that there, I think. Oh man, I spent way longer down there than I should have. I did end up heading to the jungle soon after finishing the desert biome, hoping we'd get a natural event or boss spawn, but unfortunately we weren't so lucky. It seems like all our luck went into chest spawn locations. Small worlds make exploring these places extremely easy, and just before we headed back home, we found a queen beehive. At this point, I figured it was a good place to stop. We were fully geared and had all the tools needed for the first few bosses. In the next episode, I hope to clear out a good chunk of bosses to get us even closer to activating hard mode. Thank you so much for joining me on this first episode of Terraria, and if you'd like me to include more content into the episodes, let me know. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.